Some people find it hard to function without a cause. Without a cause, there is no will to live. Others say if you don't pick a direction, the algorithm will pick one for you. Meaning just going through the same things every day without any kind of input of your own, or perhaps time to plan your day or where you want to go, just doing things aimlessly without thinking about what impact it has on you or whether you're making real progress, then other people ideas of what you should be doing will dominate your own will. In other words, how some people say, if you're not following your dream, someone will make you part of theirs and you'll be following theirs. If you're rendering video, a lot of people know this from the world of video, a lot of people know this from the world of editing. The first video you make, video number one, it's usually the longest, because when you're splicing it together, when you're getting all the photos, you're putting the sound higher than you want it, lower than you want it, you're processing that video. It usually takes the longest. It usually will say, if it's a 20-minute video that you're editing, it might say 1 hour to finish. But that's because the video is putting everything exactly how you need it. It's working the muscles to train, to make a master file, to get everything together. But every subsequent video after that is quicker once the template is already set. So after that first video, you'll see the second one. If the first one took 1 hour, the second one might take sometimes 20 minutes. And there's a life lesson in there somewhere. The first one is the slowest, and it takes longer. After your files have finished the first one, and it saves the templates for others. The others that follow are reasonably faster. Or how some people might say, get started. The hardest part is getting out of bed or getting to the gym on time while everyone else is sleeping. Here's a new proposal for a scary movie. No, not that scary movie, but a horror movie in the horror genre. A person, it could be a man or a woman. A person just sits there with their own thoughts. And you just witness this throughout the length of the movie. They sit there with their own thoughts. And at some point in the movie, someone interrupts and says, and I'm talking about the person that's just, you get to visualize everything that goes on inside someone's head throughout the course of a day. And this person is deep in thought. And it could be problems, it can be nothing, it could be tranquility, it can be memories from their childhood, it can be memories from people that were once in their lives and no longer there. It could be memories of them in the future as an older adult. It could be memories with their animals, it could be them wherever they want, them at work, exchanges at work, or just everything. Imagine just things that they have to pick up, things they have to do, and whether their kids grow up to be productive citizens or not. It just takes you through the cycle. And then that person, and it would probably be a better movie, that person staring into the ocean, somewhere where it pulls you in or pulls you out. And someone comes along and says, after about 2 hours of sitting there in this theater, that you paid $13 to see this, someone asks that person, how are you? Taps them on the shoulder, or the person looks to them and just says, I'm good. Scariest movie ever. Subtitle should be The Journey Through the Subconscious. It might have to be an independent movie. Online friends and followers. The quickest way to lose followers online is to share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. The quickest way to lose friends online is to not like someone else's post and you not be a celebrity. Meaning, if a celebrity doesn't like your posts or your online behavior or a post that you just don't give that person a like for something that they output, it's going to be a problem. But if a celebrity does it, it's not a problem. Meaning that the celebrity gets a pass, a no-like pass, not the Magic Johnson no-look pass or the Jason Kidd no-look pass. But if you, as a non-celebrity, does not give a like to your social media friend of something they put up, that is a quick, surefire way to not be in the good graces of most people, because it renders that post indifferent in their eyes. And a celebrity does it, no problem. But if you do it, it's a major problem. Guard your peace at all costs, and no online etiquette when it comes to the modern world of liking, or even a dislike is better than no like at all, according to social media trends. If Drake does it, it's fine. If Kevin Durant does it, if the people you follow for America's Got Talent do it, it's fine. It's not following. If the person is not following you or engaging with you, because these accounts never follow you back with blue checks on Instagram, it's fine. But if a family or friend does not like your picture of you with your feet up in the latest trendy vacation place, then it is a problem. Come on, don't you like that picture of your family member or your friend with your feet up drinking hot coffee in the winter in some beach resort in Jamaica? Never underestimate the power of soul ties of online social media. Social media. Say it again, social media. Social media aura. The surest way to lose social media cred is to witness a fight or public altercation that might require legal intervention and not hold the camera steady. The person who will not go out with you because she thinks that the person who will not go out with you because she finds you living with your parents or family unattractive to her will gladly date someone who is married because that person is more attractive to them. Out of Africa, 1985, was it 1985 or 1987? It stars Robert Redford and Meryl Streep. Robert Redford plays a man, Dennis. Meryl Streep plays Karen. There might be some spoilers coming up, so if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you give you a couple seconds to turn off the video now, or pause it. You don't have to turn it completely off, but do if you need to. Dennis was an angel. This is my interpretation. Dennis was an angel sent to remind Karen of her freedom. She challenges his existence and rejects the side of him that attracts her to him because, as she says, it isn't normal. She rejects personal growth and calls it love when confronted with the reality that Dennis, he prefers his simplicity, his simplistic life compared to her upper class ways. Dennis dies later in the movie at some point. Karen reads a poem and proclaims that he was not ours. If he wasn't ours, who was it? Maybe he was himself. He has an autonomous nature. Perhaps he was an angel sent to remind her that her existence was not one to take lightly, and that time was brief, and that time was happening in the present. And you can't control what someone else is to be, right? She has a husband in the movie. What does he do? He brings her disease. He brings her heartache. He brings her excuses, and he has no time for her. She meets a man that has time for her, and even if it's not a lot of time, the quality of that time that they spent together is time well spent. Is time they create memories that probably she will never create or enjoy in that fashion again. When it comes time for her to acknowledge his presence, she rejects it. And they have an intense scene before he's off on a trip about who he is and what she will allow and what she won't allow. And allow in that form is more than just a physical act, but it's a spiritual allowance of I reject that side of you that attracted me to you, but I can't live with that because I want to see you in the way that I want to see you. I want you to remain attractive, but only how I want you to attract me. I want you to be the fisherman as well as I want you to be the fish, but I want to be the bait that, choose the bait that you catch me with. Very interesting dynamic in that movie. Saw that movie in the movie theaters back in the day, and the more I watch it, I see that there are some golden nuggets of information in it. Out of Africa. A lot of good scenes in that movie. And then Meryl Streep again plays a similar sort of character years later in the movie that stars her as an Italian woman living in Iowa, and she marries a farmer. But in the movie, she has her own challenge with her own time and life and existence on this planet. And again, both movies can be seen as period pieces, one in rural America, Bridges of Madison County, and the other one out of Africa in a different time, and one might say a colonial time in Kenya. But the Bridges of Madison County, Clint Eastwood was a photographer, right? It hits close to home here. It's a photographer who's he pumps life into her, right? Metaphorically speaking, and not literal until the end of the movie, but he pumps life into her existence. They share moments that most people only dream about, even if it is at a kitchen table or a walk to the park, a ride to the park, and talk about flowers, share some photography. And then again in this movie, he doesn't force her to remember. She doesn't force her to do anything in this movie, but she questions his existence, his reason for living, his reason for not choosing family, his reason for just living for himself. And even they have a spat at the dinner table. And remember, she's married; her husband's away. But she questions his existence as far as how can you live just for yourself? And tells her, well, I pretty much that he doesn't. He loves everyone just the same, and that his love, because it's not traditional and what most people do, is not something that's less of value. But she can't believe that. She learns to accept it, but she has a hard time. And the funny thing is that he's not asking her to change. He's not asking her to be something different other than just somebody to spend some time with. But that's something that, although married, this life that he pumps into her is now making her question whether, instead of facing her own need for growth, she's questioning the person that brought life or is pumping life into her. And life is something that's not something that it takes forever to experience. It takes a quick decision, deciding that you want to live in this moment. So in both movies, she meets people who are living in the present, however non-traditional that may be. And she loves it in both movies, but rejected in both movies. And eventually she comes around. And this goes into the theme of both movies, even though it was surrounded by the Hollywood effect of bridges or Africa, exotic places. It was about taming and possession. And the same thing that many people like to do with animals, wild animals especially. Remember, we are animals too. Trying to tame and possess somebody is what love is considered. And think about how many tame and controlled, possessed people that we see. If we see a possessed person in a horror movie, we consider that to be evil and something that a person might have to break out of that spell. But if we see possession in a love story, it seems as something that's so beautiful, but they never show 50 years down the line or 20 years down the line, except for Bridges of Madison County. They kind of showed how the person living traditional ended her life, but they never showed how the person living non-traditional ended his life. That would be a much longer tale, and it might actually attract or distract from the situation. Both men were explorers and married to their purpose, their spiritual journey. Sometimes Hollywood touches on the thing that they can't sell to the masses. And that's exactly when it becomes a classic. New York City laws still in the books that might be antiquated. It's illegal to use an umbrella while walking on the sidewalk, unless it's raining. I would want to see if any law enforcement official will still give tickets out for witnessing this in today's New York. I know jaywalking was decriminalized. Umbrella by Rihanna was originally written for Britney Spears, and it was rejected by her label and offered to also Mary J. Blige, but it was not recorded by her. It was ultimately recorded by Rihanna. Umbrella metaphor for, in the song, I believe it came out in 2007, Umbrella by Rihanna. She recorded it with Jay-Z and became very popular. It's a metaphor for steadfast support and shelter in a relationship. It's a weather metaphor for for life's challenges. It's an emotional storm that you need an umbrella for. Emotional storm. A Good Girl Gone Bad, as the title for that album, is described as a person, usually a woman, who has transitioned from a reputation of being well behaved and innocent to a more rebellious, bold, or unconventional lifestyle. It can imply a woman that has become more sexually liberated or has abandoned what society considered a virtue or virtues uh, or a traditional path. Both movies, Bridges of Madison County, Out of Africa, dealt with tradition. Bridges of Madison County, not really about the bridges. Out of Africa, it's not really about being out of Africa. Both movies deal with people who are a little bit outside the box and the challenges of being inside the box and life happening in the present, but also not being accepted because what can happen in the future was more important than the spectacular now. And with that, continue your day. Have a great morning. Have a great afternoon, a great night, wherever you are. Do your best.